Hello! Hi! So welcome to my On My Shelf video. This is a video response to the one that Booksandquills made, which I really enjoyed, sort of peering into her bookshelf. So this is where I share some of the books that I don't normally get to talk about, but would like to in some sort of circumstance. The first book that I have here is an Agatha Christie one. It is called Poirot's Early Cases. I am the world's biggest Poirot fan. Oh my god. I'm gonna start crying from excitement. I love everything Agatha Christie, particularly Poirot and Miss Marple, which they are the pinnacle of my obsessions. I love the movies, I love the books, I love everything to do with them. And my obsession has reached the level where I am going with a friend to see a play by David Suchet, who plays Poirot in the series. And when I found out I was going, I broke down and cried in the middle of a public place. So this Poirot Daily Cases is just sort of the basic sort of Poirot love. It's just some really short little cases that you can read that have really beautiful little plots to them. What I love about Agatha Christie is that she never repeats the same plot twice, and yet she has written so many crime novels. Anyway, that's a really good sort of short, quick, really nice read if you're into crime, like me. The second book that I have is a sort of elusive one. I don't know how it sort of ended up in my possession. Like, yeah, I bought it, but I found this at an airport, Hong Kong airport, while I was waiting for my very, very long stopover to finish. I was there for about 9 hours, I think. It is The Lonely Planet's Guide to Travel Writing. I love all things to do with travel, and I do a bit of travel writing when I can sort of find the time. I am a full-time student. But this is just a really, really good handbook if you're interested in travel writing or getting started. I can do a longer video specifically about travel writing if you like. But yeah, this is just really great, really sort of covers everything. It has some websites you can look to, etc., etc. It's really good and it has a lot of professional and industry advice, which I like. The third book is one that I thought I would never ever have to talk about again, and I don't really want to, but it is La Bête Humaine by Zola. I went on exchange for 6 months in France, and this was the first book that they presented me with for my French class, and I nearly cried because it is so hard. Zola just goes out of his way to make his writing difficult. I didn't speak, like, I could say bonjour, and that was about it. So sort of tackling this great French literary thing was so hard. Even French people have difficulty with Zola, so I hear. But I sort of struggled through it and I didn't really get it. I don't remember what it was about, except there was a lady named Séverine in it, which I found weird because I'd never heard that name before, and it's about a guy who has something to do with trains. That's all I know. The fourth book that I have is one that I have to read this year for my literature class, and that is 70 Poems by Wisława Szymborska. It is titled Sounds, Feelings, and Thoughts, and I just love the cover. I'm really enjoying her poetry. I'm not usually into poetry. I'm not a huge fan of poetry. I don't go out of my way to read it, but because I had to read this, oh my god, it's so good. A lot of her poems are the sort of poems that you read them the first time, they're very simple, and they make you curl up into a ball of existential crisis the further you read into them. They all have very deep meanings, but they're sort of elusive in their meaning, so you have to dig really deep, which is something I love about literature and in particular poetry. So if you're into that kind of thing, this is going to be great. I love this book because it has the English translation on this side and the original Polish on this side, because she is a Polish poet. I think she was one of the few women to have won a Nobel laureate, but she's just brilliant, and her writing is brilliant, and when you first read it, you don't realize, but it is, and it is life-changing if you get into it deep enough. And the last book that I have is one that I enjoyed, but I don't know why I have it. I don't know. It's called Playing Beatty Bow by Ruth Park. It's about a young girl who sort of lives in the modern day 70s, 80s. I don't know when this was read. I've only read it written. I've only read it a few times, but she sort of finds her way through some sort of portal into the 1800s. It's based in Sydney, I think, and it's sort of it's a really interesting time to go back to, and it's a really enlightening book. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite books. It's not the most brilliant book ever written, but it's a really kind of easy read. It's nice. I enjoyed it. I won't really go out of my way to read it again unless I have nothing else to read, but yeah, I could say it's an okay book. It's a Penguin classic, which says something about it. As I say with every Penguin classic, if it's a Penguin classic, it has to be good. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed my sort of brief on my shelf video. If you'd like more, just let me know. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Bye!